Well, a short walk through Huntsville's downtown and you'll see the number 200 on street signs and shop windows. But do you know what 200 years of statehood really means for Alabama and how Huntsville's story sets it apart? Renata DiGregorio spoke with a local history professor about what he hopes comes to mind when you see that 200.
From cotton to rockets, there's no doubt the Rocket City's landscape has changed since becoming Alabama's first incorporated city in 1811. That is, except for where it hasn't.
This is an example of an important sort of piece of, we could say, regional infrastructure.
History like this lies around every corner of the city, now on track to be the state's largest. But as UAH history lecturer John Moore says, much less than 200 years ago, this was a plantation society characterized by slavery and agriculture. It wasn't until much later in the 20th century that things changed.
Huntsville started to develop more of an industrial base. There were more railroads that were being located here. There was more heavy industry.
Different cultures began to infuse Huntsville's southern bloodstream with diversity. German scientists flocked to the Marshall Space Flight Center, and later Huntsville used its image as the Rocket City to attract intellectuals of different races during the civil rights era.
Huntsville has become an area that's become associated with cutting-edge technology, scientific innovation. We see a lot of essentially the economic activity, even the social and the political activity around here driven by that relationship.
This changed the southern city, but has it changed it enough? More hopes that when you see these 200 signs up there, you think about what we can learn from history to create a better future.
Obviously, there are things in our past that we're not proud of and that, are still very much a part of our society today that we sort of struggle to overcome. But, we have to think about kind of all of us as a community sort of on a journey together, and how can we make our society a better place to live? How can we learn from the past and some of the negative things that have gone on in the past to make a better future.
As Huntsville continues to make its mark with the thinking that brought us to the moon, he hopes its people embrace innovation and change to steer a new path for the South. Putting the Valley first, Renata DiGregorio, WZDX News.
Moore says he's excited to see how cultural influences change the state. He expects the Japanese culture to grow in Huntsville as auto manufacturers like Toyota Mazda boom.